Namaskaram. Welcome to Pyramid Music Meditation Academy series. We are honored and blessed that artists like Pravin Godkhindi ji are giving us this opportunity to express and learn music and meditation in a more deeper way. We have with us Pravin Godkhindi ji. We've just finished a concert with him and we're having this conversation just to understand a little bit deeper what happens and how it happens and how can we become better seekers of music. So I would like to ask the first question, sir. The objective that you've met Patriji, you've seen that the vision of music and meditation, bringing it together, needs to reach more and more people. So how is music and meditation so important? Why is it so important?
To begin with, I personally have felt throughout my learning with my experiences with my father, my guru Pandit Venkatesh Godkhindi, that my instrument, the flute, has got that inherent quality of reaching out to the masses. It's if you have to connect. I think this is one of the best instruments because from ages, 5,000 years ago, when Krishna played the flute, we have read of so many instances when animals, plants, human beings, everybody gets afflicted, and that's basically because the tonal quality of the bamboo flute. So, having that in my hand, I always had this feeling, that because I also learned vocal. But somehow my heart, lied in the flute, because although people say, the vocal is supreme and then the instruments have to follow the vocal, and we do that to a great extent, but still I feel that without even the lyrics, without any words, without any vowels, I can still express and reach out to the heart and the soul. And this instrument especially is very natural, it's directly from the forest, Mother Earth has given to us, so it's very close. There are no strings attached, so no leather, no tuning fork, nothing. So it's pure breath, and that is what I think makes it very suitable for meditation. The sound and the fact that it comes from within. You inhale and then exhale in a way is so controlled that you eventually the musician, the flautist, he has to concentrate on a particular point in the brain, which eventually becomes bliss, or which leads him to the meditative mood. So added to that, when we choose ragas, which have a lot of depth in it, the swaras, like Marwa that I played today, so to say it is just pentatonic scale, but the Komal Re and the Shuddha Dhaiva, the combination, then when in comparison with the Tanpura, that itself gives us that meditative feel. So that's the artist and the listener both can experience that meditative effect. But the most important aspect here is that if music and meditation have to meet, for me, I think it is the alap, or the preliminary part where we explore the raga. That is the point where we can actually make music meet meditation. Because once the percussion comes, then we are bound to a particular cycle, and because when we say cycle, it again reflects the time cycle. It is different from person to person. So that is why I think I experience a lot of divinity, or certain times I have experienced that feel of levitation and totally cut off from this world for a few moments sometimes, but that is only when I am just with my tanpura and the flute, nothing else. So I think everyone should listen to music and meditate and try to control their breathing. That is I think that really helps. And my experience with Patriji was very similar, because he himself loved the flute and he played the flute too. So we had exchanged a couple of tunes, in the sense that he played something and then he said, can you improvise on this? And so we had certain exchanges. So I knew that he also had the same thought process. The flute can influence and make you concentrate, make listeners and attract them. And basically, even in today's audience, there were several small children who wanted to meet me, and because it is only the impact of the flute, it's not the artist, I feel. I mean, the sound of the flute, it attracts everybody. If you are able to play it in Shruti and in Laya, then that's an added bonus.
Wonderful, sir. The impact of space also matters, where you play.
Absolutely.
So you are at Pyramid Valley International, which is one of the energetic power spots, you can say. So how was your experience here playing music?
I said that after the concert also, from the stage, that we don't get this kind of an environment, this kind of an ambience everywhere. We do concerts almost every alternate day in various situations, concerts in auditoriums, sometimes in studios, with lights, and sometimes even in darkness. And I have experienced all kinds of possible. We play outdoor in front of a seashore, sitting on a multi-storied building and everything. So, but when we play concerts like this, where there's already an energy, the moment we step onto the stage, we can feel that.
Yeah.
As musicians, as artists, there's something that pushes us, something that makes us aware and expects something from us. So that kind of feeling when we get, and the audience is also willing to sit back, relax and meditate. So we can spend a lot of time in that ala portion, that is my favorite place, where I can explore the raga, the nuances, the phrases. So I love to spend a lot of time in that. So with that, with respect to that, I think Pyramid Valley this concert is going to be a very memorable one for me for a long time, for various reasons. Because my son, immediately after the concert, he said, I think we played for more than an hour, one raga. I said, I didn't know. I mean, I was just lost in that, and I kept on playing. So I didn't look at the watch also. So he's happy that we could do that, because otherwise generally there's a rush, So I'm so happy that this music meets meditation fest. You people are doing a wonderful job, and you should continue this. And I'm sure lots and lots of people will join this movement and enjoy the whole idea behind this. And it has been a fantastic experience for me personally.
Wow, it's wonderful hearing that from you, sir. Just your final words of how a seeker can now, if now great music, great stage, we enjoyed the music, now what do I do? How do I take this music into my day-to-day life when I go back to my home? So I live in Delhi, for example. How do I take this music back home? How should I practice it? How do I start?
As I said, when you say you are a seeker, I myself was a seeker in a way, because my dad taught me all the grammar part of it. This rag has so many permutations, combinations. But after a while, when you are alone with yourself, then leave aside the lyric, leave aside the thing, just go behind the emotion. That's what I generally do. You stick to the grammar of the raga, but then try to because see, I have learned about ragas, that this particular raga has to evoke this particular bhava. So am I experiencing that bhava? If I'm not, then the listener also won't experience. Just by playing Nirega Madhanisa, Sani Dapa Magaresa, it won't be Yaman. How to make it Yaman? Yaman has to have that Shringar Rasa, it has to have that Bhakti Rasa. So how to get that Bhakti Rasa? So when we internalize the thought and sit with the Tanpura and just try and search for combinations for months and years, so that's when actually the classicism enters, that is where the churning happens. The churning must happen. So there's a popular saying in Hindustani music is that till 40, till the age of 40, he is only accumulating from his guru, from his peers, from his whatever he is listening. The actual artist is born after 50. Between 40 and 50, the churning happens. So he sits and thinks, and that is what used to ideally happen earlier. Mm-hmm. So an artist is in full form after 50 is what they say. But now times have changed. The generation is much faster, and some people are exceptionally good even in their 20s. But it all depends on human being. But the only thing is that there are different approaches to music. Some, as you said, if you are a seeker, then you prefer to be alone and let the churning happen. But if you are a person who wants everybody to know you, and you want to be there on all the magazines, in all the social media, then you are dependent on a group of people who help the concert or the music be upbeat, and you are catering to a different crowd. Then you are actually catering to a crowd, you are not internalizing the music. So there's a difference. So whatever music you hear, if you want to take it with you, then internalize it. Try to enjoy it from within. Try to understand how the artist is trying to create relationships between the swaras, and how that relationship is, how far is Gandhar from the Tanpura Sa. Such things, when you're just sitting and practicing such things, that itself will give you various energy levels, what some people say is chakras. So the elevation part, that it's hard to describe it. When you sit and do that,
it's experiential.
Yeah.
So how is your practice of music? Does it have meditation with it, and how?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, when I sit with my students, sometimes I just ask all of them to play Sa. I just hold Sa and ask them to match it with me, and then I tell them, try to experience that meditative effect, that spirituality in it. Just by playing Sa accurately, just getting that itself is a very, very big deal in flute, because your breath is always, it goes just like our Bangalore roads, a lot of craters and humps. So we need something like what we have on highways now in India, very smooth and fine and nice. So the when you exhale into the flute, it should be nice. That is the beginning. But once you do that, you have to maintain that in pitch, and then there is something that it has to be pinpoint. There are several Sa's around the Tanpura Sa. So how accurate are you will make the difference.
Seems like lifetime of practice.
Absolutely, that is why it is called the sadhana. It's a tapas. Only then you actually you achieve what you are seeking. You have to sit with it, and it's a difficult thing. Everybody doesn't get it, and everybody can't experience it every time.
Yeah.
It only happens with few artists at some point of time. So I spent a lot of time doing all such things. I had done it earlier also. There were times when I used to play Bhairavi, and I didn't even know that so many people were sitting around me. There was nobody when I started, and so many people when they came, how they came. So I was just lost in that Bhairavi. I was completely lost. And after that, my family kind of, they were scared. If he gets lost sometime, he doesn't know how long he's playing and all this, it will become a problem. So it's better you play commercial stuff than this meditative stuff. But I kind of try to balance everything. I play different kinds of music. I have played with rock bands also. So, but classical is something very dear to me. I try to get a balance of everything, and try to promote and propagate these basic values of classical music to not only my students but also the listeners. Playing different ragas in different ways can achieve different results. So I try to do that. But I love this. I have done a lot of relaxation CDs also earlier for Western. So all I used to do is just put a tanpura and play a rag, and I used to enjoy myself. Play it for 1 hour, and completely get immersed into it. And those were the ones that were chosen by the Westerners. They immediately realized this is something that can affect or touch a person's heart. The moment we add, as I said, if we add a few instruments and some Western thing and all, the shrutis change, and then you have to stick on to the Western scales. So then you don't get that feel of what our ancestors have created. The ragas are all, they have different shrutis. So each raga has a definite shruti. If they say Komal Ray of Marwa is different from Komal Ray of Todi. So unless you get the right ray, you won't get that effect. So all these
emotion.
Yeah. So all these things matter. As a seeker, I have realized so many things that if you really want to achieve or experience that bliss, then you have to be alone.
And you need to be serious about it.
Very, very.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir, for this conversation.
My pleasure.
This bite-sized wisdom from Pravin Godkhindi, sir. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you. My pleasure.
And you already know that, but you're most welcome to keep coming.
Of course.
Keep coming. Any state you go, you will always find a pyramid meditation center.
Sure.
And please come and play wherever you can, because your energy is it's just I cannot even share how I was experiencing today's music. It was literally Vishwa Urja was like droplets falling over. It was a beautiful experience.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Thank you so much for this and giving so much time for us.
Thank you. I also really enjoyed. Thank you so much.
My dear friends, let's take music very seriously. What we see is lifetimes of practice, sadhana. So let us be a part of this journey and take music and meditation into our day-to-day lives. Thank you.